For Sale, a short spooky story by me, Kaala. Standing at the end of a stone path to the front door of what some would call a fixer-upper of a single-family home, I stared at the for sale sign that had clearly weathered its fair share of storms. The two almost equally timed slamming of car doors snapped me out of my intense gaze. The man and woman joining me on the path were well-dressed in proper business attire with perfectly placed Crane Realty Group name tags. His read David and hers Marcy. Imagine some new trim and a fresh paint job, thriving grass and some simple garden beds. I tell ya, this place could really make a person do a double take, David said excitedly. I thought to myself, people are already doing double takes, but for the wrong reasons. The house was covered in vines, some dead, some alive, and weeds that had grown half the height of the first story, just to die and look like an eerily perfect addition to this grim scene. Windows were broken everywhere, and there was some graffiti slightly bleeding through fresh paint which was clearly used to cover up the profanity. My assessment of the exterior shifted to Marcy, saying, "Let's get inside and see what we're working with, shall we?" in a flat tone quite the opposite of David's excited proclamation. The doorknob was cold as I let myself in. The heavy door creaked open loudly, startling Marcy. "That's not normal," she said shakily. I'm sure it's something that can be fixed. No need to worry," David encouraged. Stepping into the entryway, the scent of cedarwood and dust filled the air. The smell hit my nose and a vision flashed in my mind. 3 joyous young children running from the living room to the dining room. "Great home for a family," I said. Marcy, shouting from the dining area, replied, "It definitely has good bones." Oh my goodness, no pun intended," she said, seeming shocked by her own words. I cringed at the statement as an image of blood splattered across the fireplace flashed in my mind for the briefest moment. David brushed off Marcy's comment, rattling on about some minor necessary repairs. His voice bled into murmurs as my focus drifted to the unsettling, overwhelming feeling that I had been here before. The house felt nostalgically familiar, but it had no personality like a home. I tried to imagine it with more light, photographs on the walls, a family draped over furniture around the lit fireplace. I can almost see the faces of the family in my memory, then BAM! A bird flew into the one remaining undamaged window in the dining room. David, Marcy, and I rushed to the window and saw the black bird lying dead on the porch. "Isn't that like a sign of bad luck or something?" I asked. "Oh, it'd probably come in a few times through the other windows and just didn't see this one. Poor guy. I'll put a sticker on the window tomorrow so that doesn't happen again," David exclaimed. "Sure, a sticker should do it," Marcy said, sounding unassured. She added with a shiver, "It's really cold in here." We moved from the dining room to the kitchen as David talked about the real selling points of the house, such as the proximity to the best schools in town, great grocery store, and the perfect little cafe just at the end of the block. Marcy said, "Come on, David, everyone knows this is a great neighborhood. What makes this house really worth it? Let's not beat around the bush." David responded unabashedly, "Okay, I know. Really, I know. Buying a house where a family was murdered is not on any sane person's bucket list. This house is really great, though. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a covered porch and a backyard leading to a pond. It really is an ideal home for a family." I shuddered at the mention of the family and wondered out loud in a whisper, "Murdered?" The room fell silent for a moment. Marcy broke the silence. That can't be ignored," she said, sounding concerned as she rushed from the kitchen to the hallway. David and I followed her. David grabbed Marcy's hand and led us up the stairs. "Look, let's be honest. There's definitely some, residual energy or something like that lurking here. But a priest should be able to take care of that easy," David tried to sound convincing. Priest. That word sent my mind through a whirlwind of visions. I saw the front door opening to a priest with concern on his face, the 3 children from my earlier vision huddled together in front of the fireplace whimpering. I saw a man in a room strapped to a bed thrashing violently. The priest headed up the stairs with determination and fear in his eyes. As the vision of the priest passed me on the stairs, I felt pushed against the wall where family photos had once hung. Marcy shrieked, racing up the stairs when I thudded into the wall. I followed closely behind Marcy as the vision in my mind continued. I saw the priest hovering over the man strapped to the bed. I couldn't see the man's face, but something was screaming in my body that I didn't want to. I tried to shake the vision from my mind. "What happened here?" I asked. "Do you think that guy was really possessed when he killed them?" Marcy asked, trying to catch her breath. "I don't know what to think about a man who guns down his family, then drowns himself in the pond out back. What I do think is that this house is a really great opportunity and just needs some love," David argued, sounding annoyed. "Love and an exorcism," I muttered under my breath. Peering into the loft, I saw the closed doors to multiple rooms. Marcy stayed close to the stairs, as if ready to run back down them at any second. "Look at this floor plan. I mean, really, can't you at least picture it?" David said, stepping forward into the loft. He began calling out square footage from one of the rooms as I opened the door nearest to me and Marcy, the largest of the bedrooms. Marcy suddenly bolted down the stairs. "I'm done up here," she yelled from halfway down. David rushed into the room beside me and looked around for what had scared Marcy away. "David," I started to speak. His head snapped so quickly in my direction I thought he might have thrown out his neck. Before I could finish my sentence, he was rushing down the stairs just as Marcy had done. The sight of David sprinting out of the room triggered another vision. The man from before, lying still on the bed with shallow breathing as the priest collected himself and headed for the door. When the vision of the priest turned to leave the room, I saw him hold and gently pat the hand of myself standing right next to me. Suddenly, I saw what my body had been dreading. I looked to the man on the bed and finally saw his face. Drenched in sweat and blood, the man was still so recognizable to me. I would have known the man anywhere, in any state. That man was the love of my life, my husband, the father of my children. The children! The memory of the babies sent me rushing to find them. I ran down the stairs expecting to see David and Marcy, but they were gone, and the front door was wide open. I looked to the living room and saw a vision of my husband standing there, facing the fireplace with a rifle he had only ever used for hunting. I didn't want to see what he was looking at, and in my bones, I already knew. Good bones. Now I get it. The vision of my husband turned and walked out the back door. He didn't blink. His breathing was still shallow. He seemed lifeless. I watched from the back porch as he walked calmly into the pond. No looking back, no hesitation, no struggle. Ache pulsed through me at the realization that these visions were actually memories, a haunting reminder of how it all ended. I ran back through the house, closing my eyes as I passed the imprinted memory of my children massacred in front of the fireplace. I sprinted right through the front door. There were only tire tread marks where David and Marcy's car had been parked. I dropped to my knees in front of the for sale sign, wondering now just how many storms it had weathered. How long had it been there? Sobbing, I laid my head in my hands for a moment. Then the bubbling question became too overwhelming to keep inside as I rose to my feet. "Why am I still here? They've all gone!" I cried out angrily. Standing at the end of a stone path, I was staring at a for sale sign when the slamming of a car door snapped me out of my intense gaze. Thank you all so much for listening. We have officially reached our 1-year anniversary of Screaming Meemies. I really appreciate everyone's support. I can't tell you how much it means to Aubrey and I. We truly put our hearts into this podcast, and I appreciate you all hanging in there with us and looking forward to our episodes. Thank you for one wonderful year of Screaming Meemies, and here's to many more.